Welcome back, Year 6, for our 10th session of 20 about cloud busting by Mallory Blackman. After today's lesson, we will be halfway through our sessions about cloud busting. I'm excited to keep reading, but I'm also a bit sad that means we only have 10 sessions left. Let's remember that any words you see in red throughout today's lesson are key words that I'd like you to focus on that are important for your learning. These words may be vocabulary words that it's important you know the meaning of, or they may be sentence starters from your strategy prompt sheet. Remember that when you're answering questions in Destination Reader in your home learning book, you should be using those sentence starters from your prompt sheet. Questions for you to answer will be in blue, and anytime I'm going to ask you to pause the video and write down your answer, you will see green writing. As we've done at the beginning of each Destination Reader session, please check to make sure that you have a copy of the story, a copy of the strategy prompt sheet, and a pencil, piece of paper, or your home learning book. Please pause the video now to make sure you have everything you need to learn. Well done. Let's begin reading cloud busting. Today we are continuing to infer. Inference is such an important strategy when reading because the author simply cannot tell us every single detail about a book. So good readers infer to help us better understand. Let's retrieve from our long-term memory those two things that we use to make an inference. What two things do we use to make inferences? Pause the video now and write your answer in your home learning book. Well done! I'm sure that you all said that we use background knowledge and clues from the text to read between the lines and make inferences. Awesome job, Year 6. Now, before we begin reading today, we need to review 3 words that are going to come up in our reading that it's important you understand. The first word is haggle. My turn. Haggle. Your turn. Awesome work. Haggle is a verb. It's a doing word. To haggle is something that you do. It means to bargain or try to change someone's mind about the cost of something. It's not common to haggle in a shop, but sometimes you can haggle or bargain at a market. Our next vocabulary word is allergic. Allergic. Allergic is an adjective. It's a word to describe. In our story, Davy is allergic to peanuts. If you are allergic to something, it means you cannot eat it because your body will have a negative or bad reaction to it. Our last vocabulary word today is shrug. Shrug. To shrug means to raise your shoulders to show doubt or indifference, or because you don't know something. I want everyone to shrug their shoulders as if they're saying, I don't know, or I don't care. Awesome work. Okay, before we begin, very quickly, Year 6, let's review how we answer 1 and 2 mark questions. My turn. 1 mark questions need a short, snappy answer. Your turn. Awesome job. And 2 mark questions need a PE answer. Your turn. Awesome work. I hope that you're feeling more confident with answering these 1 and 2 mark questions, because next week we move on to 3 mark questions. Today we are beginning chapter 13, so please take a second, find page 83, and put your finger on the title of chapter 13. Great. I will read and you will follow along. We'll stop at different points to ask and answer questions. Let's read chapter 13. No big deal. The next day Davy passed my door without stopping. I ran out and said, "Wait up, Davy," but he kept walking. And there I was, running after him, and he wouldn't stop. So by the time I reached him, I was puffed and annoyed with both him and me. "Didn't you hear me calling you?" I ranted, between gasps to fill my lungs. And he looked at me, just looked at me. And I spent a lifetime, which lasted no more than a second, thinking about all the things he could say to me in response, in reply, all the things I deserved to hear. But he smiled, just smiled, and said hi. I felt strange, embarrassed. Ooh, let's stop here. Why do you think Sam felt embarrassed? Remember, a 1 mark question needs a short, snappy answer. Pause the video here and note your ideas in your home learning book. Awesome job. Here's my answer. I think Sam felt embarrassed because of the way he acted. Remember, he was talking rudely about Davy and then didn't do anything when he realized Davy had heard him. That's why I think Sam was embarrassed. Did you have a similar answer? I'm sure you did. Let's keep reading. We are on the last line at the bottom of page 84. I looked away, but didn't walk away. I caught sight of Davy's break box in his hand. He'd started his break early, like just after breakfast. What have you got? I asked, digging into my bag for my own break box. I opened mine up so we could both look and compare snacks. He had carrot sticks, a thick chunk of cucumber, breadsticks, grapes, and an apple. Ooh. Davy's snacks sound quite healthy. He sounds like he's eating a good, healthy, balanced diet. I had salt and vinegar crisps, chocolate buttons, a pack of peanuts, and an apple. I'll swap you my peanuts for your cucumber, I said. I love cucumber. It's the only green thing I'll eat. I can't eat peanuts, said Davy. I'm allergic. I frowned. I didn't really get it. I'm allergic to peanuts, said Davy. But I'll swap you your pack of chocolate buttons for my cucumber. 15 buttons, I haggled. The packet has probably only got 10 in it in the first place, Davy pointed out. So I gave him the packet and took his cucumber, and we carried on, munching and crunching. Year 6, I'd like to stop there. I'm curious, on page 86 and 87, what impression do we, the readers, get of Sam and Davy's friendship? Remember, in the chapter previous, Sam was really unkind to Davy, and Davy heard him. Now, how are they acting? What impression do we get? Listen whilst I think aloud. Remember, this is a 2-mark question, so I need to tell you my impression, and then I need to give you evidence from the text that supports that impression. Here's my answer. I get the impression that Sam and Davy's friendship is back to normal. That's my first mark. Because they are sharing their lunches together, joking, haggling a trade, and chatting. All of these are things that friends do, so it seems like their friendship is back to normal. I would like you to pause the video here and try answering this question on your own. Awesome job. Well done, Year 6. I'm sure that you have perfect 2-mark answers at this point. Let's continue on reading Chapter 13. We are about halfway down page 87. I've just read the line, munching and crunching. As we walked, "Don't tell anyone about my allergy," said Davy after a while. "Why not?" I asked. "I don't want a fuss," shrugged Dave. "Promise me you won't tell." So I promised. No problem, no big deal. But the promise left my mouth, escaped my mind, fizzled out, sizzled out, and I forgot it. Pure forgot it. Clean forgot it. Left it, lost it. Just forgot it. I noticed that the mood of this chapter changed a bit at the end. Instead of the positive and upbeat mood it had before, when Sam and Davy were swapping snacks and having fun. The end of the chapter seems to have a bit more of a suspenseful feel to it. Would you agree? Yeah. Let's have a think. Do you think Sam will tell anyone about Davy's allergy to peanuts? Why or why not? Year 6, this is a 2-mark question. So I want you to tell me if you think Sam will tell or he won't tell. Then I want you to give me evidence and explain your answer. Pause the video here to make a note of your answer in your home learning book. Awesome job. Let's take a look at my answer. I think that Sam will tell people about Davy's allergy. I believe this because Sam, who is narrating the story, says that the secret escaped his mind and that he forgot it. This suggests that perhaps what comes next in the story may relate to the fact that he forgot his promise to Davy. Did you have a similar answer, Year 6? I would love to see your work and see the awesome answers that you are creating in your homework books. That's it for today. We are done reading, and on Monday we will begin on Chapter 14, and we'll start to think about 3-mark answers. On your piece of paper or in your home learning book, today's question for after the session is, if you were Davy, would you have forgiven Sam as quickly as he did? Why or why not? Year 6, please forgive my error here. If you were Davy, would you have forgiven Sam as quickly as he did? Why or why not? Have a think and answer this question in a few sentences or a short paragraph. Great job today, Year 6, and we will see you next time to continue reading. Well done.